Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Let us know if you can see us and hear us and everything's good. You might notice there's only two of us here. We weren't totally sure if Sunny was going to make it to the live, and it turns out they weren't able to. Maybe she'll be able to pop in at some point. But right now it's just me and Steph. Say hi, Steph.
Hello.
So we're here talking about They Never Learned by Lane Fargo. I thought I forgot this book for a second. I just had the most chaotic 10 minutes of my life. I literally beside me have a bee trapped in a cup. Because after I spilled an entire box of pasta, I found a bee and I had to catch it. And now I'm here and I feel all out of sorts. I haven't been living in my house for the last week. So I just got here and I'm trying to be calm and collected for this half-hour live show. I think I can do it.
Yes.
So Steph has never been here before, so I'm going to have her introduce, well, I guess I already introduced you, sorry. Maybe your channel. Maybe it was actually a wasp, not a bee. What do I want to know? I want to know your favorite thrillers, so people can, not that they need to be convinced to check out your channel, but some things that you might be talking about over there. And while she's doing that, I want you guys in the comments to give me a skull emoji if you read the book and a heart emoji if you didn't. We're going to keep it not spoilers for the first 10 minutes maybe. Depends what we have to talk about. And then for those of you who haven't read it yet, maybe you want to leave and come back and view this later once you want all the spoilers. So that's what's up. Steph, take it away.
Okay. My name is Steffi, and I'm over at Perks of Steph. I guess on my channel, I talk about books that are contemporary literature, so a bunch of literary fiction. I like generational stories and stories that focus on relationships, whether that's platonic or romantic. And I love multiple perspectives in stories as well. Favorite thriller. I guess my favorite author for thrillers is Linwood Barclay. I believe he's a Canadian author.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with his stuff. I've read pretty much all of his books. He just came out with one, I think, last month. But I think the first one I ever read from him was called Too Close to Home. And then, let's see. Another one is The Lies We Told by Camilla Way.
Oh, that has a purple cover, right?
Yes.
Yes, I've read that.
And it was just chaotic. And then Whisper Network by Chandler Baker. That's more of, I guess it is a thriller. It's about these women in the workplace and their misogynist bosses and stuff like that. And then there's a plot because one of the guys that works there, I think their new boss dies, and we're trying to figure out how, because he dies at the workplace, and we're going through it's interrogations between all the women there and just seeing how it led up to that point of him dying. And yeah, I liked it.
Oh gosh. I need to look at I was looking through your Goodreads earlier, and I feel like you have such an eclectic taste. It's really all over the board, but I really need to look at your thriller stuff because go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I noticed, I was looking through too, because I'm okay, I need to find some thrillers. And I realized that I thought I read more thrillers than I actually do.
I think I don't know. I saw Bunny and stuff like that, which is more horror. But I think sometimes I mix together, I just put mystery, thriller, horror all in the same kind of category. So I was oh, she reads a good amount of thriller. But you're right. I'm looking at horror too. I need to look through some of your recommendations more because I too like thrillers that have a social commentary, and I feel that's a lot of what you're referencing. So that is something that this book had, was commentary on misogyny and rape culture and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, I am seeing a lot of skulls which I always love. You're here to really get into it. So let's see. Stephanie, do you feel confident pitching this book? Like talking about the initial synopsis.
Yeah. I kind of feel like the blurb on the back gave away most of the plot. But I would say that the story is told from alternating storylines between a freshman named Carly Schiller, who is at attendance at Gorman University. And then we are also switching between a English professor at that school named Scarlett Clark. And we're learning a bit more about Scarlett. We're introduced to her as she is planning her first murder of many. And we know that right away that's her thing. She's always looking for men who do horrible things to the women at the school and plotting how she wants to kill them. And then Carly Schiller is just going about her life as a freshman. She's finally out of her home, and her home life didn't seem too great. Like, her father was, I would say he was a misogynist. He liked women. Yeah, questionable. He liked women portraying feminine qualities and characteristics about themselves. So she thought when she moved to the school, she would do things that were like anti-feminine. So cutting her hair, things that he would look at and be like, okay, that's not feminine at all. Like, I don't know who you are. So she did stuff like that, but she also I can't even say it. Befriended a girl named Allison, who was her dorm mate. And Allison wanted to be in with the in crowd. And she decided she would take Carly on this journey of becoming popular. But also, she wasn't that good of a friend because she would ditch her for men. And there is an incident that happens where Allison is assaulted, but doesn't really want to do anything about it. And that's kind of where Carly decides that she's going to help Allison talk about it and see if they can get anything done about the person that assaulted Allison. And that's kind of the storyline.
Oh my God, it killed it.
Okay.
So let's see if I do as good of a job describing the second half of the book once we get to the spoiler section, because I'm very not prepared. I love this comment. The live show was so delayed I forgot details of the book. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I was flipping through it earlier today to like take some notes and stuff, and I was like, I kind of forgot about that. And like, how were these people actually connected? So
yeah. Also, Courtney Lee said, I didn't read the full blurb, and I'm so glad I didn't. And I agree, because I think if I read the blurb, I would have completely gotten all of the plot twists.
that makes sense. Yeah, I typically will read like just the first half of a synopsis because I don't want to know anything.
Yeah.
I also don't apparently want to know anyone's review of the book until we're in the live, because I don't actually know what you thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to find out. Like, you could have hated it, you could have loved it. I have no idea. I've updated the link in the description to Sunny's channel to link to the video in which they read this book for a vlog if you want to see her thoughts. She is originally one of the reasons that I picked this book, because Gabby introduced it to me last year, and then Sunny read it earlier this year and really enjoyed it. And I asked them if it was conducive to be a book club discussion, and they said yes. So, and then I was like, who should I have on? Who should talk about it with me? And on that video, I saw a comment from Steffi being like, this is on my TBR now. And I was like, I'm going to make you read it. So I'm really glad that I made everybody read it, because I feel like this is the least polarizing selection I have ever had with the book club. Granted, I don't know your rating yet, but I just can't imagine a world in which it's less than like a 3, because I haven't seen, I don't think anybody like dislike this book and objectively say that it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready. I'm ready to hear your...
I gave it a 4-star.
Oh my God. Yay. Me too.
Okay.
Me too. Okay. I need to know everybody's ratings in the comments too, because I'm ready to be surprised. I think there was like one person in the Goodreads group who gave it like a 2. But generally, I feel like this is the kind of book that just does it all. Like it has good representation, it has action, it has mystery, it has a good twist. I feel like generally it's probably going to be one of my most like recommended thrillers, even though I only gave it 4 stars. Oh, see, look.
Okay, a lot of 4 and 5 stars. Also, I see a lot of comments saying we forgot plot, so I think that's going to work out for us.
Very relatable, apparently. Okay, I do see a couple 2 stars. I would actually love to know if you guys can keep it spoiler free. If you want to share the things you didn't like it, I would love to know that. So I want to know. I want to know something you liked about the book, Steffi.
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free, and then we'll spoil the whole book, and then we can talk about things that we liked again with full spoilers.
I would say. Well, I like the setting because I always love a thriller or a book that takes place in like academia. And then I don't know because I don't think I really enjoyed the characters.
That's fair.
But I think I don't know. I like the atmosphere of the book. I don't think I have like specific parts that I really enjoyed. I just thought the book was good, though.
I do like the academic setting, and I'm actually, I have to say, like 2 things that I'm really happy about with this book is one, that it didn't get too academic, like in the classroom, like teaching and stuff, because my next 2 book club picks after Survive the Night, which we're currently reading, if anybody didn't know. After this, I think the 2 books after that are very academic focused and dark academia at their core. All's Well by Mona Awad and For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. So I was kind of glad that this didn't take the professor stuff into like the classroom, and there were students and there were assistants and all the characters were there, but it wasn't like about lesson planning and like that kind of stuff. And the other thing I was really glad about is I went into this book assuming, because I saw the author talk about how it follows 2 bisexual women. And since it's from 2 perspectives, I just kind of assumed that it was going to be a romance. And I was really, really worried going into this that we were going to have a teacher-student relationship, because that's something that I really don't like. And so I was just like really happy. I shouldn't say something I enjoyed about the book is the things that it didn't do, but it was like a relief, because I can recommend it to so many more people. Because that's the one reason I was hesitant to go into it. So I'm glad it didn't do that.
Yeah, I think another thing is with like the book, I'm glad it didn't do what I thought it would do as well, because I thought we were going to see like the student and the teacher like team up and be like serial killers at the school. That's what I thought it was gonna be.
It could have been a lot cheesier. Yeah, you're totally right. A side note, if you guys haven't read the book, I would really recommend the audiobook. It has dual narrators. They're both really strong, and I think I read this majority audio, or no, I think at the twist I switched, because I was like, okay, I need to reread some sections, like I need to fully understand. So I think that's it for the non-spoiler section. So if you haven't read it and you're still thinking about it, see you later. Come back later. This will always be on my channel. You can come watch this. And now we'll get into the spoilers, if I can remember them all. Because I think there was obviously there was one big mega twist, but then there was like a couple other things that I need to fully wrap my mind around. Feel free to remind me in the comments of anything that you want to talk about. Okay, so the big twist of this book is my favorite trope in thrillers. And so I'm so glad that I didn't see it coming. I didn't predict it. Nobody spoiled it for me. And that's that the 2 perspectives are actually one person. I had no idea. Like, I know a couple people have said that they saw it coming. I'm assuming you didn't see it coming.
Nope.
And so like looking back, like I'm sure there are tiny little clues. There are things that you could, if you were looking for it, you could see evidence that it was the same perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scarlett and Carly are the same person. And we're just following her 16 years difference when she was just starting school and just beginning the idea of getting revenge against men.
Mm-hmm.
And now 16 years later, and her enacting, I feel like, a pretty important revenge moment. That's why we're following her now as opposed to any of her other murders, is because this one is the biggest one, because at the end of this, she kills the man who was her teacher for that first year.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. I was like, that's right.
But
I'm on the right track.
I think the one that wraps up the whole storyline that got her into killing was probably the last one. That's the one that I guessed. I guessed that it would be Wes.
Right. So Wes was her friend who's also involved with Allison.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about predictions in a second. So if I get off, bring me back to that.
Okay.
But one thing that happens is Allison is kind of involved with this boy, Wes, and then Wes actually ends up being like a douchebag at the end,
Mm-hmm.
which I kind of liked. I know that this book is very like all men are trash and like men suck. And we thought we had this one guy who was good and he turned out to also be trash. So I know like the people who I've seen take issue with anything about the book, that is one of their critiques, is that like every single man was terrible, including Wes, who we thought was nice.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out she pushed him off the
roof
when he was like attacking her.
Yeah.
Coming onto her, like assaulting her.
Yeah. But I did like the lead up, because we thought that she was going to push the guy who assaulted Allison over.
Right. What was his name? His name was something so stupid.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Bash? I think it was Bash. Somebody in the Goodreads group commented that they have read like 3 books recently, all with Bash as a character. And I was like, I've never heard that name.
Me either.
So weird. I think I got that right. Bash, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I think that kind of sums up most of the twists and reveals. One of the other things that happens is she gets involved with, who is that woman? She ends up with this woman in the end who finds out that she is the killer, and she's like okay with it, which is very interesting.
It's Kinnear's ex-wife.
Right, ex-wife. Okay, because I was like, wouldn't she have been a little more broken up about it before she just like climbed into bed with Scarlett? But maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, wait. We have to talk about another thing. Tyler comes in to attack the 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
That was so random to me.
I will say there are certain portions of the book that I think the only reason I gave it a 4, not a 5, was that there were some cheesy moments. There were some of the things that Scarlett said were like a little over the top, and there were a couple scenes, like now I'm remembering the scene with Tyler, and there's like the whole group of them together.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a lot.
Someone said, who's Tyler?
Maybe you got the name.
Yeah. Tyler is the guy that she was sleeping with, wasn't it? Oh, Jasper.
Jasper, right. I was so sus. Like Jasper, I was like, something is up with Jasper. He is so questionable.
Yeah, and then he was like watching her, asking her whereabouts, and I'm like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, he was like a lot. He was probably the most annoying character in the whole book. I was like, what are you up to now? Yeah. Every single time she would do something, he'd be like, I saw you.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not following.
Yeah, he was ruining the whole vibe and her like plots. Because I'm just like, why do you keep popping up? She's trying to just kill these men in peace, and you're just there.
There were way too many characters in this book. Like,
yeah.
And I think that's the intent, because it wants you to not be able to focus on, the twist, and it wants to be able to pull things off. So it's distracting you with like all of these people. One thing that I noticed that the book did is in some sections, like it would only use people's last names, and then in the other section, it would only use people's first names. And I think that's what helped the twist happen, is that you had no way of connecting these people together.
Yeah.
I do think for me, part of the enjoyment of this hinges on not knowing the twist. So like if you do predict it, I understand how some people might not love it. But I will also say that I'm glad it happened in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
My post-it literally says, "Wait a damn minute."
I had one, let me see, because I didn't have that many post-its, but I did. Is it on page or chapter 31?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I was like, okay, wait, Carly. And then I was like going back to see what I missed.
Yeah, I think I was listening to the audiobook at this point and I was like, wait, what's happening? And then I had to start reading the book. And then two pages later I have another post-it that also says, wait a damn minute. Because I like had not pieced it together yet.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Oh, they're the same. It's my favorite thing. My favorite thing in a thriller. If I read it super often, I wouldn't love it as much. But I love when you think you're reading from a perspective and then it turns out you're not. Like, I think it's just so incredible when an author can pull that off well, and I really love it.
I don't think I've read a book like this before, so I think that's another reason that I was able to like bump it up to a 4-star.
Yeah. It's tough though because like I want to recommend so many books to you that also do it, but then you would know that they do it.
Yeah.
It's so tough. So like when people, I'm going to end this with book and movie recommendations, but I'm not recommending anything that has the same twist because then you would know.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about predictions. Was there anything in the book that you thought was going to happen and didn't, or did predict was going to happen?
I didn't predict the romance with the psychology professor and the English teacher Scarlett. I just did not. I don't know. I felt like that was a point where I was like, okay, we could have gotten rid of this line or like this storyline, but I guess we kind of needed it to get to the last twist.
Yeah, that's true.
But also like how quick she was to able to like get on board with Scarlett killing people. I'm like, you took a couple of days to get over the fact that the person that you're in a relationship with is killing men.
Yeah, like when she originally found the book, because basically Scarlett steals a book from the guy and murders him, and then his ex-wife, now they're together, and she like finds the book. So the scene is Scarlett walks in and she sees Nina with the book, and Nina's like, I don't remember what she says, but
she said she bought it for him, I think on their anniversary.
Oh yeah,
at the Shakespeare and Company. I think it was like the bookstore, and I was like, oh come on.
Like of all the whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it really doesn't take her that much time to just to be sleeping with her. So.
Yeah. Oh, also, I didn't predict the student being abused by the Jasper guy, by the TA.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't predict that.
Yeah, I didn't. That was strange. I predicted one thing that I was thinking. I assumed that Allison was going to die because, like, she was so, like, she wasn't. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, because once like the twist happens and we know that they're the same person, and then Allison never comes up in Scarlett's chapters. I was like, okay, so obviously like Allison's gonna die at some point, but then that never happened, and I don't know if I would have liked it to, but I assumed we were gonna get something like a redemption arc for her or something.
Yeah, because I thought we were leading up where she got like super depressed, wasn't leaving bed. I was like, okay, she's going to die, and that is the reason why Carly or Scarlett started her whole rampage of killing men. But I don't know. I guess that would have been too predictable.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I think it makes sense that the author didn't have Allison die because then it kind of would have sent a poor message. So it's good that she moved on. But then, like, maybe it should have shown that. I guess that's a critique that I have, that Allison should have had some. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there was a moment that it explained like where Allison is now, or that she's happy, or have, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think they did talk about it. I think the ending of Carly's storyline was with Allison like accusing her of pushing Wes off the roof and never talking to her again, and then Carly packed up and left.
Yeah, or like maybe like Scarlet and Allison turned out to be the same person. Like that would have been an
Yeah.
interesting twist. Or like I know a lot of people in the Goodreads group predicted that right from the beginning that Carly and Scarlet were related. Like that was their number one theory. Is because it was like, how are these people going to be connected? Like you're constantly thinking throughout the book, like what is it going to be? And I think them being related is an easy one to assume. Or I saw a theory that was really interesting that was they thought that Scarlet was going to end up being a woman that Carly's dad cheated on his wife with. And so like maybe by the end of the book, Carly was going to kill Scarlet. And
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Also, I don't think we needed that storyline of like finding out her dad's cheating. Because I mean, like, I think she already knew it, but like her seeing him at the restaurant, I was like, okay, that's overkill. And then it was never brought up after that.
Yeah, I agree. I do think maybe there, again, it's like her just trying to introduce so many things so we don't have time to really ponder.
Yeah.
But I do absolutely look back on this book and think like there were too many different side stories. There was too much going on. All of the individual like murders that she committed, like we got information about so many of them. And I was like, I don't know if we really needed.
Somebody said the last line of the book, Jamie. Oh my God, the last line of the book. I just had to look back at it.
What is it?
Oh, that's when they move abroad. Is it like England and she's killing men there now too?
That's great. Yeah, I wonder what the future looks like for Scarlet and Mina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh hey, we made it. Half an hour. It's already passed. Okay, let's
You said you had some recommendations.
yes, let's wrap this up with any recommendations. I already see in the comments. Thank you, Steffi, for reminding me. I see a lot of comments talking about Promising Young Woman because it reminded people of that. So I think that is that I think it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie as well.
Have you seen it?
No.
Was it a book too?
Yep.
Oh shit.
I believe so. If I'm not wrong. I thought it was based on a book.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, so I would recommend that, I think. I would also recommend, like, if you're looking for just a revenge story, the movie Hard Candy, if you can take it, is one of my favorites.
Oh, I think I might have seen that one.
It's a lot.
With Elliot Page.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I've seen that.
I watched that way too young. I was like 14 when I saw that movie.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what have I gotten myself into? I would also recommend, here are my 2 book recommendations, My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing and Black Iris by Elliot Wake. These are 2 things that have, this one is like a revenge story, and this one is from the perspective of killers. So that's why I would recommend those 2. This is like a what's it called? Husband. I couldn't remember the word. A husband and wife who kill people.
Okay. Well, that's already on my Goodreads TBR.
Nice. Oh my gosh, I hope you love it. I really hope I love her next book. That's the book club pick that I'm making you all read with me. And then I would also recommend, actually, do you have any recommendations?
Just the one, I guess that would be most similar would be The Whispered Network by Chandler Baker.
I was just thinking about other shows because I think Dexter is like an easy thing to compare this to. People refer to this as Dexter meets Killing Eve. I've never seen Killing Eve.
I've never seen either.
But from what I understand, there's like I don't know if it's a bisexual or a lesbian lead character in that. So I think that's probably why people are comparing it. I actually don't know. I have no idea what that is even about. I wish Sunny was here. I'm sure they could pitch it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling.
Someone recommended Sweet Pea by C.J. Scoose.
Oh, I do. I can think of that cover in my mind. Kill Bill.
And Local Woman Missing, Amber Brindley.
if you want a YA, The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis is definitely a good one. That has, if you're just getting into revenge stories, that one's definitely a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to look through here later to see if there's any other recommendations.
Somebody else said Local Woman Missing.
That sounds familiar. And if anyone is watching this after the fact, oh, Local Woman Missing is the new Mary Kubica. Oh, interesting. I know somebody's reading that for their book club right now, but I can't think of who it is.
Which one is it?
Local Woman Missing.
Oh, somebody said Gabby Reeds loves Local Woman Missing too.
Oh, interesting. Gabby is so great for recommendations.
Okay, I might have to read it. It has a 4.12 on Goodreads with 14,000 reviews.
Yeah. It's funny because I've read every single Mary Kubica and I've never given her more than 3 stars, but I keep picking them up. So I thought I'd finally given up, but now everyone's like, this one. So now I have to keep going. I can't stop now. If anyone's watching this after the fact, make sure you turn on the live chat so you can see all of these comments coming in if you want any other recommendations, because I see a lot happening. How to Get Away with Murder. Again, it's something I haven't seen because I don't watch TV, but maybe I should.
Yeah. I know I don't really watch TV either.
I'm always picking up a book instead. Okay. I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Oh my God, this is the most on time I feel like my book club has ever been. I'm so proud of us.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining me, Steffi. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Everybody, please check out the links in the description so you can see Sunny's perspective on this book and subscribe to Steffi. She recently did a book haul full of like really interesting shit that I want to read. So thank you very much for being here, and I will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.